Did you know teachers aren't humans? They're not allowed to show stress or age, have health problems, show fear, waste time, and most of all, fail. They're not even allowed to go to the bathroom. But that's okay, because we're here to talk about how we're all just playing a role. And at 3 o'clock, we get to be us again. 40 years ago, two 8-year-old boys were bored out of their minds in school, and they vowed one day they would do something about it. They did it to honor their friends. They did it to honor their classmates. They did it for the love of learning. I'm Matt, and this is Rob. And 40 years later, we get our turn. But now we're playing teacher.
Recording in progress.
All right. Welcome to Playing Teacher. I am Matt. This is Brugge with Rob here, and our special guest, Slagle, aka Miss Henriquez, aka Bagel, aka Michelle, our friend for many years, and one of the best teachers you can find anywhere in the universe. And we love her, and she agreed to come on our podcast as I believe our second guest. So this is we're not counting Herbie. So that it's an honor to have you here. We love you, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys. I'm so happy to be
Why
here.
did they?
I don't know how I feel about following up Neil, because I mean, come on.
Yeah, Dr. Neil.
Hard act to follow.
Why do they call you Bagel?
Because it rhymes with Slagle.
Oh, that's it? There's no other.
Come on, you know what? Brugge's starting with the worst questions. I'm going to ask. Let's.
That was actually my original question that I wrote down, Rob.
No,
Thanks.
you know what? I'm sorry. I'm gonna
That was
ask.
one of my originals.
I'm gonna ask a good question. I'm gonna kick this off with something good.
Yeah.
Slagle. Slagle. When did you start?
What's your favorite kind of bagel? No. Okay, go ahead.
When did you start? When did you start enjoying drinking tea with flies in it?
I'm dead. I thought this was going to be a tell me a funny story segment.
Shit, I'm involved with that.
No. Just
I'm sorry about
it's
that.
amazing that I'm still friends with you two, actually, after that.
No. Let's tell the story. So,
I would love to hear your version of the
Where do-
story.
okay.
Go on, Robert. And maybe we should start with my version of the story.
where do we begin?
I
I
think
have
we-
something
I
else
think
to
I should
do,
start.
guys.
I think
Okay,
I
okay.
should start. Okay.
We had.
Wait,
we
no.
had-
Time
We had a
out.
little
I think I
fly
need to
problem in the
start
lab.
this.
Okay.
No,
We had a
wait.
little-
Time out. I need to
Guys,
start.
Okay,
let our
so-
guest speak.
Slagle, tell the story.
So here I am, happily drinking my to-go large tea that I would get every morning.
9 sugars.
It was 5 sugars until you allowed me to see the light. And then it broke down to 2. Okay. Thank you, Robert Monahan.
It was,
And you're
So
teaching
drink-
down the hall. Just to be
Yes,
clear for our
yes.
listeners, you are a few doors down from us. We're
Yes.
teaching science, and you're teaching first grade
First
a few
grade.
doors down from us.
Yes. By
Okay.
myself.
like right across the hall.
Yeah,
So
right
it was
across.
across the hall and down and down.
Yeah.
So I was in 213. You were in like whatever 210.
214. But we're several doors down, even though
Yeah,
the
well,
numbers
anyway,
are right
so
next to each other. Yeah.
Okay.
nobody
So
cares.
like any teacher, probably, right? My tea's been sitting there cold for the entire day, right? So I'm at the
Mhm.
end of the day and I'm drinking my tea and there's something chunky. And I'm like, what? This is not the first time that this happened.
Sugar cube?
So another time I'm drinking it and I think I had like a bagel, like I'd get like a bagel and cream cheese in a tea, right? So I'm like, oh, that's kind of gross. Maybe it was like backwash. All right, let me just keep drinking it. So then this is the second time it happens and I'm like,
It's a problem
what
with tea
is that?
sometimes.
so now picture this, right? It's the large teacup and it has like the peel back lid,
Yeah.
right? So the
Mm.
cup is open enough to have something fly into it. So I go, let me spit this out and see what is this chunky thing. And it was a giant horse fly. And I'm like, what is this? That's disgusting. freaked out a little bit alone. I don't know how I got back to you though. I must have told you that this happened. And then Rob was like, oh no, I think it's my fault.
Protein.
Go on.
And Rob came to me. We had a little bit of a drain issue because we would spill some things down the drain.
We would make like protein shakes and stuff, and then we would
Yeah,
just like
stuff.
we would dump
Yeah.
stuff down the drain. But I guess
Yeah.
like the drain in the office was like a science drain, so it had a catch basin. I think it was meant to catch things like sand or whatever, but I think it was like holding on to old putrid food particles, right? So then we must have had a fly go down there at some point, and then we had a fly problem. Like we had flies
There was
everywhere.
one day I remember we came in, Rob, and they were like everywhere in the lab.
So what did we do?
Like, I'm like, oh shit.
The only thing that we could do, we opened the doors,
Yeah.
and they all flew out. You know?
Yeah. And then let's make it everyone's problem, not just ours. And then
people were like, "Why are there flies all over the
everywhere?"
school?" You know,
And I'm like,
and then
don't
we didn't
answer
have
the phone. Don't answer the phone. Yeah.
But you know what though?
No, we didn't have like the problem was solved. We don't have any more problems. Like, it was
No,
over.
but the funny part is that's not the story that you told me. You told me that you were unintentionally breeding flies because you had like potatoes or something.
Larva flies.
Wait, you're right.
No, it was potatoes.
You're right.
I remember.
There was a potato thing.
So I inadvertently became
it was
the
a
teacher who
potato.
swallowed a fly.
Yes.
Because I had to have swallowed a fly before, not realizing it, and I only realized it after I spit it out the second time.
This is a nursery rhyme, isn't it? Like this, like the fly.
It is it was named after. It was created for me. There's another version out there. There's a lady.
We felt really bad.
There was a first grade teacher that swallowed a fly.
Wait, no, you're right. There was a potato thing, and now I can't remember what that was, but you are correct. There was a potato. There was a rotten potato thing we were doing. But there was also like
it didn't help the fly situation.
No,
but
Matt,
just
Matt, we also had dead. Like whenever our lizards would die, we would put them into the mealworm tank. Remember?
Yeah.
We had flies for many reasons.
Everywhere. Yeah. And I think this is a separate time that the lizards escaped. Yeah, but yeah.
So one might ask, well, Michelle, then why did you still remain friends with these two idiots? And the answer is simple. Because the following day on my door was a giant purple bag from Vosges Chocolates. Yeah. And you were instantly forgiven.
Mm-hmm. Peanut butter bonbons, or was it?
No, but actually, I don't know.
Was it just a mixture, probably?
No, the bacon one.
Oh, yeah. The bacon. Yeah. Right.
Speaking of which, like our friend, I have to ask you about your brownies. Like, Slagle. So, like, so, like, first of all, the recipe, like, is there any secrets to it? Because your brownies are freaking awesome. So, so you would this would be like my best day because I've had a lot of bad days.
Better than my brownies.
You know, like when Slagle brought brownies in, it was always
I've never
a good
had them.
day.
Yes.
You know, like
no, I almost poisoned Matt with an avocado brownie. That's why I'm saying.
Oh, it sounds atrocious.
I'm allergic to avocados. And I've discovered that, when Rob helped me realize why I was having some issues with like needles sticking through my abdomen for a while. I don't want to get too far off to your brownie story, but yes, Rob finally, no, it wasn't a brownie. It was a smoothie, Rob. And that's when I finally realized it was avocado. I started taking all these things, removing them from my diet to figure out what it was. And I started to realize, and he said all these things that he would give me because he was helping me trying to get into shape, and all these things he was throwing in. And then at the end he said, and because I started to realize avocados was a problem. He's like, oh yeah. And I threw in an avocado. And then I was like, oh shit. And then that's really when I realized it. So avocados messed me up. Anyway, back to your brownies though. Like, any secrets to why they're so good? Like, anything you want to share? Family secrets or
yes?
Like, why are they
if it's a secret?
delicious?
You don't have to share it.
Yeah, no, I'm willing to give up the secret.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
Yeah.
The secret ingredient is love.
Yeah.
And vanilla.
Wait, I have a beef here. I don't remember. I remember things that Slagle made that were unbelievable. I don't remember brownies.
Before she started bringing them
I think the brownies came after I left.
Yeah, I think they did too.
It's messed up.
You also made coconut brownies, right? You made
I did.
coconut
I
brownies
made
too?
peanut butter
Oh my
brownies
God.
for Matt.
Oh,
Well,
so
did.
good.
So that I
I
mean,
haven't
that's what
made
I'm
them in a
really
while,
that's what I'm
actually.
really thinking about is the peanut butter brownies.
what
So
are
like, so wait, so you bring in a batch, right? You know, like there's what 60, 70 teachers in the school. There's probably enough for 13. I don't know if you want to say it's like,
Well, maybe
do you
more.
do you think beforehand who's going to get a brownie? I mean, when you come in,
I
what?
actually do. I actually
There's
do.
like qualifications, who's going to get them? You know, during like what
I
they
was
did
on
that
that
week.
list.
You're gonna get me in trouble, but yes, Brugge was always on the list. You were always on the list.
I was
My
always
wife
on the
was
list.
always on the list, obviously. She always got first dibs. But it was actually, and it's funny because sometimes I would bake, a lot of the times when you were there, I would bake just to bake and be like, oh, we need brownies. We need a brownie Tuesday, like just randomly, right? And then sometimes, like more now, because I'm so crazy juggling all the kids' extracurriculars. So like I don't get to bake as much as I want to. So now when I do it, it's like full on, like,
Your own kids, of course, right?
yeah.
my
Your
own
boys.
kids.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, okay, so if I'm gonna bake for them or for their teachers or for their school, I'm gonna obviously bring in, enough for hours. And then there's like a list I go through. And then actually like I package them for people. So like Trap always gets it, um, Miss Kassoon always got it. Like, there's
Oh my
always
God.
Oh, she's still
yeah.
there, Miss
She
Casino.
was
Oh my
awesome.
god.
No, she retired.
No.
Oh, did she?
She
Okay.
was the
They're just living her best life.
best school aide ever.
I mean, we taught her daughter,
Yeah.
right?
Yes,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
did.
And they
Yeah.
did that. They would always do a performance on stage that was amazing. Like they would come in for like
Yeah.
our talent shows. She was so
Yeah.
proud of them too.
I'm sure the brownies were good, but there's other things that Slagle made that were probably even better.
Like what?
Like there was
I don't know where
something
she's
that
going with this, but
I mean, I make a
was-
pretty good lasagna, but I wasn't bringing that in. Well, now you guys haven't. I think you left before I started
Potluck?
making the Oreo truffles.
what?
Have you had my Oreo truffles?
No, I'm talking
Oh.
about I'm talking about your
Life-changing,
Festivus.
I hear.
She would bring this to Festivus. It was like a rum cake. Like it was like a
Oh, my sherry cake. Yeah. I haven't
Oh
brought
my
that to school.
god.
That
That was
good.
good. That was like the
good.
best thing
That's
I've ever
good.
put in my mouth. That was so good.
I actually thought about that yesterday. My
That
friend
was
was
a
talking about rum
that was a
balls.
winner at
Yeah,
Festivus
very
for sure.
Yeah. No, my Oreo truffles are pretty famous. I don't know why.
Also on the savory side, matzo brie.
Oh, I mean,
oh
come
my
on.
god,
Matt,
you make
huh?
matzo brie?
Yes,
Yeah, she
me and
does.
Matt bond over.
So matzo brie is very, very, very personal to me because growing up, my mother would make this unbelievable. She didn't do pancake style. She's like broke it up. You know what I mean? So it was like broken up. He didn't do it like
Oh, yeah.
pancake style,
No.
like it's like one giant pancake, or
No.
it's like broken up.
I break it
So
up.
like I had this amazing like memory of childhood for it. You ever like connect to people and memories through food?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So like matzo brie always did it for me, so like I make it for Cindy and Cindy loves it and Cindy's not Jewish, but
Yeah.
she loves it and she even connects it to my mother because she knows that she made this, amazing matzo brie. So I make that, and I'm not a great cook by any means, but I always make this, during Passover time or something, I make this huge thing of matzo brie and automatically it brings back memories of my childhood. I'm like 10 years old again with the giant thing. And I don't do the pancake style. I break it up and everything like that.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, you do it that way too?
I do it that way. Break it up. And my mom, I'm assuming my dad taught my mom because my dad's Jewish. So I'm assuming that's how she learned it or from my grandmother or something. But yeah, that's what we do. We put it under the water. We break it up. We do. Yeah. And then just put lots of butter at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I crack the eggs over the matzah in the pan actually. Like I mix it all together. It's almost like making the fried eggs into it,
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just keep going.
I had never had that before until I had it at Slagle's.
I've never had it, period.
Look at her trying to get some. She's trying to get some. Trying to get an invite.
I will make you Oreo truffles and matzo brie.
You do syrup with your matzo brie? Honey or what? I do syrup.
Nothing.
You go straight?
Yeah. Just
No, I do a lot of syrup. Yeah. Okay.
Are you using everything seasoning? Yeah.
Okay.
It's good.
Gotcha.
So Slagle, you said that like your first batch always goes to Christine, and you've been teaching with her for how long? How long have you guys been together?
I want to say 10 years. No, 11.
So
You
Christine
don't count that
is,
1 year that we were broken up.
So do you want to say who Christine is? Do you want to tell the audience who
Christine is my work wife. We adopted Matt as our work husband. Like the last 3 or 4 years that he was there. And anytime we had an announcement or email, he'd be like, guys, do I need to know about that? And we're like, no, husband. We're good. That doesn't pertain to you. So we were very sad when he left. So Christine and I have been together.
Thank you. I mean, I don't want to say that, you were, I feel bad that you were sad, but yeah, I appreciate that. I loved you guys,
Yeah.
like you two were very hard to leave,
Yeah.
like over there, but go ahead. I don't want to interrupt your story. Go ahead.
No. So it's funny because my first year I got in the door in a 4th grade classroom, fresh out of college. Oh my God. Like I must have cried once a week. It was rough. I was the third teacher for some of them.
What year was that?
2006. So I'm starting.
You were there a few months before I started, right?
Yeah. Well, so I had gotten interviewed to do a 5th grade position. I didn't get the job and then I found out at a Festivus party one day, it was because I seemed too nice. And the year before they had like the worst 5th grade classroom. And they thought that, I would be too nice. Had that happened again, which I was fine. I didn't want to teach 5th grade. I always wanted to teach 1st grade, but I needed my foot in the door. So I started subbing. And as I was subbing, we had teachers college. So we were there, I was there all the time subbing. And I got in the door and Marie Fittipelli, God bless her. She was like, listen, this is what you need
secretary
to do.
For our audience.
The one that would, the one that would call us as subs. So she's like, you need to go to this school and talk to this secretary. And this is this one's name at that school and 153 and 71. And she gave me all the names of the people that I needed. She's like, and then here, get out your calendar. Here's where I need you. And as I started subbing, Shannon and other people started talking about me and they were like, wow, she's not just like a sub, she knows what she's doing. She has management, this and that.
On her game.
So then a position became available in 4th grade because the teacher was going to leave to go get a job on Long Island. And it was November 27th. And I'll never forget, I had trailed her for a week or so beforehand to get myself ready. And it was a rough class because for them, I was the 3rd teacher for some of them because they had started off with an extra 4th grade class and then they collapsed it to open up another 1st grade class. So then Gina left and then I got the job. And I was I never forget our principal in the schoolyard. She was like, so you're ready to join the team? And that was her way of saying I want to. And I was like, uh-huh. So I got the position and it was just, oh my God, there were so many discipline, it was so boy heavy. There were so many boys that had behavioral issues that there wasn't enough tables to sit them at to separate them. It was like having a wedding seating plan. And it was this one can go here, but this one has to be turned that way so they can't see each other. And if it wasn't for Rob, honestly, getting me through it and the couple of other teachers there getting me through it that first year, oh my, I don't think I would have survived.
I remember just going in there and staring at everyone. Wait, do you remember any of the? Wait, was it Gina Lombardo?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Dana Marie was on my grade, and a couple other people.
Do you remember any of the first names of the boys from that year?
Yeah. How could I forget?
What were some of the first names?
Nafis was one of them.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, I'm trying to orient myself to that.
See, I came in and I didn't have to deal with the older kids because I had K to 2. They hired me just as K to 2. So I didn't really interact with the older kids till later. So a lot of these kids graduated and then the behavior improved. I mean, but Rob told me that some of the tough kids.
That was a rough
This year,
I remember coming in and then, going into Rob's room during that time because I was just watching him at the beginning. And some of these classes, the kids are a little bit rough with the older grades, pretty much. Yeah, it leveled out. It got better as the years went. But yeah, I mean, we still always had. But yeah, definitely back then, the early days, we had some of the older kids were pretty aggressive.
That name puts it all in perspective. Yes. Okay. That time that you're talking about was there was a term. They were called like the dirty dozen, but there was more than a dozen of like, because there were so many bad
I didn't
kids.
know that. Oh, I'll tell you the other one that I really am lucky to have my job at there.
We're gonna
I
hire you,
learned a
but
lot
can
that
you
year.
go
I learned
teach
a
with
lot.
the Dirty Dozen?
I'm gonna
This
tell
sounds
you.
sure.
No, there was a special program that I did with another guidance counselor after school, and we called it the Dirty 2 Dozen. It was 24 kids, and basically they would all come. It was like an after school program, and they would all come voluntarily because it was like I was doing it. It was fun, and their punishment, like if they could only come if they hit behavior markers for the week, you know. So like it did improve, like it improved somewhat, but that was like there was never a time that I was there where the behavior was as bad as that period, like where you came in.
Yay. And I survived it, and look at me
Yeah,
now,
I
20
know.
years
Look,
later, you know?
yeah.
But I will
But
say,
I gotta say, like those experiences probably then once you survive that, it almost like doesn't it, like almost instill in you like a way then like you appreciate anything else after that.
Yeah,
And I
like once you do it, you can handle
Yeah.
anything.
yeah, and I
Yeah.
honestly, I learned so much that year. Like I learned,
Right. Exactly. You got to get thrown in.
yeah, there's a lot that I learned. I learned to never put anything in writing. And I tell all new teachers that, including my niece. I learned, and I won't go into that story. I learned a lot that year. I did. It's
You
important.
learn
I
how to get
learned
through it too.
yourself
If you hang in long enough, right?
yeah, like I thought I needed to be a certain way as a teacher, especially like that year, because like some of these kids were like my height. Like I was a baby coming out of college, and like I went in thinking like I need to be a drill sergeant. I need to be so strict, you know. And Rob didn't help that because he was like, "Yeah, just yell at him," you know. And it worked for some of them, but then like but then I realized, you know what? It was an enlightening moment. I had this one girl, like so the teacher that left, she would always just give them like 1-page writing journal entry. Like that was their writing homework. So I just kept it going. And they're like, oh, why do I have to write a whole page? But I'm like, you could write about anything. And I never forget this one girl, her name was Teresa, and she was like such a sweet girl. And I remember her writing in her journal, like, what's the point of me being good when all I do is get looped in with the punishments of the kids that are not being good.
Yeah.
And that was an eye-opening moment for me as a teacher. And I was like, oh my God, you're absolutely right. And it changed everything. And I felt terrible about it. But like, I was in survival mode my first year. And I feel like that's what it is. Like, you really need to have a good support system. And luckily I did. And it got better as the years went on, but like that was eye-opening. So like
you learned from that experience,
I
right?
learned so much from that experience. And so then the next year she put me in first grade, and I was so happy about it. And I did that for several years until then Emmanuel and I had already started talking about, like, I was married already, and we were like, we wanted to start talking about having kids. And so I was worried about if I had a kid, I never wanted to leave my class on maternity leave. So I was like, well, what if I was an ICT teacher? And I had never had that thought before because I'm always, I'm like type A, like I like to be in charge, and, I was just so used to it. And it was funny because I hadn't said anything to anyone. And then I get called into the principal's office, and Jamie, shout out to Jamie, I know you're going to be listening to this. Jamie said to me, listen, I didn't want to be the one that's bringing this to you because it's kind of a conflict of interest. So you could say no, but the principal's not here today, and she wanted to know if you'd be willing to be an ICT teacher with Christine. Christine was Jamie's cousin.
Mm-hmm.
So she was like, you could say no to me. And I was like, I actually was thinking about doing that. And I knew Christine a little bit because she had just started working. She was mostly in the annex.
She was my first thought is when I started really talking to her and just becoming friends, we would just see each other at the annex. We're always there.
Yeah. And she was very chill, and we wound up being paired that year, and the rest is history. Like, she's the yin to my yang. It's really great.
I just want to rewind for a second because you said that the thought of starting a family drove your decision to become an ICT teacher. And I've never heard anyone ever say that before, that you didn't want to leave your classroom.
Yeah.
And, you know, what made you, you know, was there something that happened? Did a teacher leave you in the mid-year? Did you see it?
No, I don't think so. No, I mean, no.
No, but that's just really, that's actual caring
I really
about.
just love them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I didn't want to
actual
leave them to
caring
just,
about what a concept. Actually, just caring, thinking about the kids first, you know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
putting them first, you know. But yeah, that's what I loved about you guys. Like, so like we had this podcast on desks, you know, not too long ago, and they always made fun of me because I always said that, you know, it became almost like an inside joke, like we're going to do a whole podcast on desks, and we never did it, and then until we finally did it. But you guys, as co-teachers, you put your desks together,
yeah.
right?
Yep.
And I don't
Like,
think anybody else, I don't know. I don't know
but
if you've seen
who
anyone else do
decided?
that
So
either.
she's on one side, you're on the other side. There's two big desks, and you're there
And just
together,
stare into
and
each other's eyes.
you know. And I've seen other people like they're you know, they don't want to see each other. So like one's in one corner and one's all the way in the other corner. But you guys were just as close to each other as possible, like the queens of the castle over there together, you know. And like did you guys like even say like let's just be together and let's push them together, or did it just like, you know, what's the story? How did that even come to be? Like you just
I don't know. I don't know if it was just like it made sense strategically for the way that the room was set up to take up less space.
Yeah.
Or if it was just also, you know, I don't know.
I mean,
Just
you have to do co-planning and stuff, right?
It would be so weird, like, because it's such like a partnership and such a friendship that we've grown, but it was like that from the start with the desks, not the friendship. I wanted to kill her my first year a couple of times, but I was also pregnant, so I had those pregnancy hormones, and the littlest things like got to me. Like, I'll never forget. Shout out to Christina, I know you'll be listening too, but I'll never forget. It was like the dumbest thing. Like the alphabet strip was coming down. I don't think she knew that I was pregnant at this. I don't remember if she knew that I was pregnant at this time, but like it like had come down, and I would always like get up and like fix it and stuff. But the pregnancy hormones was like, I'm going to see how long it takes for her to fix it. I'm not standing on a desk fixing it. And it was like dumb things like that. And it's like so ridiculous to like think about it. Like, but, yeah, like I can't even imagine now like not being across from her, because all we do is like, are you hearing this? You know, like you want to be able to just like give each other that look like, did that kid just say what I think he said? Or, you know, I don't know.
One fight, Slagle. Do you remember Slagle, do you remember our fight? We had one argument one time.
No.
In like almost 20 years.
What was it about?
Early on.
What was it about?
I know what it is.
You obviously did something to annoy me.
It involved a refrigerator. No, it wasn't the flies.
I don't remember.
No.
I remember. Go ahead, Maddie.
All right, so you wanted to put your lunch in the refrigerator, and Rob was late, and I was covering for him.
Okay.
And then you wanted to get inside to put it in, and I couldn't tell you that, you know, because Rob and I had a thing where we covered for each other, like if one was late, because it would happen a lot, and you wanted to get in, and then you said like, you know, I really need to put my salad in there, Matt. You know, like I really, you know, I was like, you know, just open it. I was like, and then I don't know where it came from, because this wasn't me. I was like, get your own, and I screamed out, get your own fridge.
I do not recall this at all.
And then one of the teachers were like, you know, that we know, and I won't say her, she's like, wow, he never gets mad.
Oh my God. And then what?
And then I saw you the next day, and I came right up to you, like, you know, like, sorry, I don't know. And then that was it. We were like best buddies ever since then. I mean, it felt so bad.
This should be one of our T-shirts. Get your own fridge.
Get your own fridge.
I have zero recollection of this.
But I was also so nervous, because I was like really trying to cover, you know, make sure Rob gets there. So I was like top
and you didn't
secret,
want me to
you
see
know,
that
like
he wasn't
covering.
there.
He wasn't there yet. Yeah. So I was like, we were locked out. He had the key. So like we fucked up. So it was like one of those things, so he had the key with him. So I was trying to play it cool, I was like, and I couldn't say it out loud. So I was like, don't worry. But yeah, just, I'll open the door in a little bit. Then I was just like, I was building and building. I was new. So I was like, fridge. I was like, what was that?
And I made you brownies.
No, that was later. That was
no
later.
Oreo truffles for you.
But I remember coming up to you right in the auditorium. We just made up right away. So going, and then so I don't have confrontations.
I don't even remember that.
It was a long time ago.
Wait,
the one thing that I loved, like coming into the building, I came in a year after you, and you were always, you still are very honest, very blunt, and that is the one thing that I absolutely love about you is your honesty with everyone.
To my own detriment sometimes. Yeah.
Not yes.
Yeah.
But there's no bullshit with your relationship. Yeah. With your relationships with others.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. So like, I find honesty to be very important, but especially in my friendships, like you have to know when to keep your mouth shut in like professional situations and things like that. And there are many times that I've come home from like when we used to go out, after work on like a Friday night. And I'm like, I know, we're just looking at Manuel and he's like, oh God, you said what you didn't you? And I'm like, I did. I think I said too much to the wrong people, maybe the wrong people. And like, I guess I overshared or, whatever. But yeah, I truly believe in that. Like, and if you're my friend, you know that I'm not going to hold back. I'm not holding punches because to me that's fake and I don't need fake friends. And I have like 5 friends. Like I can count on my hands how many friends I have, but that I'm not holding back. And you guys know that, like the 3 of you know that. And
I have a big trust issue, and I went to you, even before we were even really, really, like just good friends. There was something in you that I trusted, and you helped me, and I opened up to you about buying a home and things, and you helped me so much and my family so much, like that I went to you and you gave me people, to help them. We bought our house, and and I was like. And it was because things that I've said to you, you were always so proud, and I would listen to you from afar, and I would listen to people, and I was just like, I'm almost embarrassed that, I didn't own my own home at that time or a lot of things I just, kept in. And I remember coming to you and just saying like, hey, can I have a conversation with you? And like, but I want to keep it on the down. I just want to talk to you. And I remember like, you didn't just give me a quick like one
you
thing.
Can do it.
You sat down with me and you gave me not just information, you gave me your realtors and your mortgage. You went into a lot, and you changed the course of my life. But through kindness and genuine just care and respect, and and it meant so much to the direction of my life that you did that, and and you said something to me once, I remember, and you said like, we don't have to see each other. We're the kind of friends that don't have to see each other all the time, but like, I'll always know you and always be there if you need me, and the same vice versa. Like, I always appreciated that immensely for what you did for me and my family. So just wanted to thank you, besides being on here doing it, but, because that's who you are. You went out of your way to just help somebody who came to you in a way. And then I'm vulnerable because I'm opening up. So, but there's something in you that is so genuine and trustworthy, and that's what's needed, not just as a person, but definitely as a teacher. And I just, I hope, that you don't feel ever devalued, because you're a very, very special, unique educator.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Thank you.
But to me, damn it.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Me.
But like that, like it's just normal, like it's just I don't know. To me, it was nothing, but to hear that it was something.
I'm gonna let
to me it is, because
I'm gonna ask a question.
I haven't gotten that everywhere in my life. And so, but I wish that was more of that, but it's needed, but
Yeah. And like
I'm
you
glad.
don't hear that like after 20, when you're in a school for 20 years with the same people, it's not just about the students, but it's also about the relationships that we
Yeah.
Absolutely.
foster. Right.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, Rob. You were about to say something.
No, I was gonna let Slagle get her breath for a moment. I was gonna just ask a separate question about supporting each other. And this is it's actually a question for Brugge. Have you ever contributed to any of Slagle's donor chooses?
Oh my God!
Slagle puts out when Slagle puts out a donors choose for her students, which is a very nice thing to do, by the way, because you're basically like fundraising for your students.
This was on the list of questions. Yeah,
she puts it out, and then people can donate. And I just want to know, Brugge, have you ever donated to any of Slagle's donors choose?
Rob put this one out after Brugge asked question 7, which was what it was like to teach with Rob because he was an asshole.
Yeah. I was like, I've got a story about that.
Let me answer the question. The answer is no.
Go on, Robert.
No, Brugge has never contributed to a donors choose campaign. Which is fine.
Not.
I mean, it's no
she has
problem.
contributed to my mental health, and that's more important. Right, Herbie? Yeah, I was very sad. So to go back to Matt, I love you. And to me, that didn't like it was nothing to me. Like it wasn't like I'm glad that it had such a big impact. For me, it was so natural because Emmanuel and I had just bought a house. I grew up in an apartment my entire life. He grew up in the projects. And here he is, a college graduate with a master's degree teaching. And like,
but that's the kind I actually I heard you saying that. I heard you saying that in the office, and that connected with me because like in our lives and things like that. Like, and when I would hear you say that, it was also there was such a sense of pride, and I was like, I need to talk to somebody not that would almost understand and not come from a place of judgment, who was real.
For you to tell me like, oh, I'm embarrassed. I'm like, what are you talking about? No, we're in New York. Nobody can afford a house, like I said.
Well, I screwed up a lot, and a lot of it was mistakes. And I was like, man, I'm just trying to fix it. And, you do your own research and everything, but like sometimes you need somebody that you can trust. And it's hard because all our work, all our time was really spent there, and then you go home, and like, I was like, and to find someone you can really trust, because you know how it is, you tell one person, then it becomes a conversation at lunch or this or that. It's like, I needed to have a private, conversation with somebody that I trust.
You were my village. And you know what? It was the same for Brugge. I would, there comes to be, and that's the thing that like people don't understand about teaching. It's like you come in and you have to put on like a show.
Mm-hmm.
And
Emmanuel,
Emmanuel says, I miss my calling to be an actress because I'm ridiculous. And he's like,
you have to shut the door and not think about like what's happening in the outside world so you can teach these 30 children.
I always saw it that way, especially when you do it once a week or every other week and you see the group. I always saw it, because I was never a classroom teacher, I always saw myself as a traveling act, or they came to me.
It's part of the reason why the podcast is named what it's named.
Playing teacher. Yeah.
But one of the reasons, because you don't people don't realize that, oh yeah, you're a teacher, you have summers off, it must be great. If we didn't have summers off, we would burn out, period.
Yeah, 100%.
But we have to deal with the pressure of like getting these kids to where they need to be, especially when I taught first grade. They come in at a reading level of like nothing, like A, B, C if they're on grade level, to have to go to J. It's like 11 levels they have to jump through, and all that pressure is on you. And depending on your principal, you knew that pressure was on you, and then on top of that, like you have a family life, and you have the parents you have to like deal with and interact with, and who's upset and they don't even come to you, they come straight to your administrator and things like that. And it's just like so much. So that village is so important. And like Brugge was right across the hall from me for many years, and like for me to be able to go in and know that I could just like vent no matter what it was, that was everything. And I'll never forget on her 33rd birthday, I come in and I'm like, happy birthday. And she like burst into tears. I'm like, what is wrong with you? She's like, I'm 33. I'm so old. And I'm like, okay, you're okay.
All right, that's my scary year.
That was it. That just happened to be her scary. Not 30, not 40. It was 33. But like
not
I was
50.
there. Not 50. No.
Did you sit in the corner seat also in Brugge's office? That was my seat to like
Well, there
hide and
wasn't
talk
much
to her.
choice, but yeah,
Yeah,
was right.
I always took the little corner seat. It was just like,
Can I just I want to just ask a question. I want to make sure we have enough time. So I'm going to just, if you guys are okay with that, you, speaking of like family, you actually taught in the same building as your child, and we just want to like know what that experience was like, because none of us had that experience. So what was that like for you, and why did you decide that to have Leo come over to our building?
Because I'm a helicopter mom. I don't know. Plain and simple. I don't know. It was I don't know. It wasn't really, you know what? The year before, two of our teachers had their kids come in to pre-K. And so then that year, I wanted to be able to know that he was so close to me and not let him go. And I didn't know, what other school to put him in, really. Because all I really knew was my 239 bubble. And so I put him there. And then he had an amazing pre-K teacher, and he was another one of our teachers. Her daughter was in the same class as him. And it was hard to let go of like not wanting to like catch glimpses and stuff like that. But I think I did a pretty good job, and so did she. And like, we tried to keep our distance. But it was nice to be able to, when they had events, be able to just go downstairs and go, celebrate his birthday or do like a family thing. It was really kind of messed up because that was the year that COVID happened.
I know.
So
I taught Leo during COVID.
Yeah. And then he went into, I was in the building for COVID, but he was at home like the next year. So he finished out pre-K, and then the next year they decided to put me in, that year they decided to take me away from Christine and put me into kindergarten. So the principal, we need a strong person in kindergarten to turn things around. And I was like, what? I don't want to do kindergarten. And then they separated us that year. And then the pandemic happened. And I was like, see, that's what you get for separating me and Christine. Just on you. And then the next year we were back together, and we taught second grade together, because a lot of the teachers wanted to loop up with their kids because we felt like we didn't get enough of them. They didn't get enough of us. Like, it wasn't a fair year. So the only way for us to be together was if we moved up to second grade. And then we taught second grade for a few years, and we really liked it.
What was that like? Sorry, go ahead.
No, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, what was it like teaching during COVID for you? Yeah.
Well, we also had a decision to make then of where Leo was going to go, and whether he was going to go in person or if he was going to stay at home. And we were very like nervous about COVID. I wore a mask well after we didn't have to wear masks. Emmanuel too, because he teaches pre-K. So, it was a hard decision to make. So we kept him remote for like the first semester. And then the principal decided that she really wanted kindergarten in the building. So she was going to open it up for kindergarten to go 5 days. And it was the only grade that was going to go 5 days. Every other grade, it was like switch on, like I'd get him for 2 days. Then Christine would teach him for like 2 days online. And we switched off that way. But the teacher that he, like I knew he was going into, a great classroom with a great teacher. And so it was easier, but it was interesting, definitely, for him to be in the same building as me. And I don't know, like COVID was scary because, like we were really afraid of getting sick. And, I had like my mom as a factor to think about too, because she watches the boys and she brings them to school and stuff like that. And Lucas was little. He was like 2 at the time. So we had to worry about that. But I was the in-building person during that time. And I have to say, like, as much as it was like the scaries of like wearing masks and get it tested and like possibly getting it, and we didn't know enough about it at that time. There was also like a real greatness to it, as crazy as it sounds, because I only had 6 kids in the classroom on a given day. And it was like, as a teacher, I'm like, this is amazing. Like the amount of work that you can get done, the amount of like you just felt like you were reaching them more with them because it was such a small class, you know? And like, even like I was able to do art projects I wouldn't normally be able to do and things like that. Like that part of it was pretty cool.
For me, it was unreal. I remember just going to those classrooms with, like you said, the 6 people, and they were separated. Then I have to run back to the room, go on the computer, and then there was like, a whole grade on the screen who wasn't there. You know what I mean? And then you get on, and then it was like, okay, then run back and go back and see like 4 kids in a room, very unusual experience. I remember though, like Lucas was on, like, on the screen, and then Leo would pop in and he'd be there with Lucas, when I was teaching.
Oh yeah. Vice versa. Yeah. Leo would be on the screen and Lucas would come.
He'd like to hang out in there, and then he would sort of do some of the stuff also.
Yeah. My mom's like, hey, Mr. Jacobs, that's a fun class. Like, it'd be her job to like get him on, when he wasn't in the building. Or for pre-K.
I didn't know what the hell I was doing. It took me a while to figure out what the hell I can do here, as far. So I remember Cindy being in like the living room, and I was there, and I was like, like, all right, everybody get a stuffed animal. And I would like up, and I would just be tossing things around, and she was just looking at me like, what the hell are you doing? And I was like, she's like, don't make me laugh. I'm like, don't make me
living. We're gonna play here.
Like tossing things and moving, I was like, all right. All right, who has a funny story to tell? I got 10 minutes to kill here. All right, who wants to go?
So we do have to wrap this up soon. But we have one more question. So I'm gonna ask it. Yes, we do. If you could talk to your
more, but go ahead, Ruth. Take over. No.
That's a good one.
Okay, so if you could talk to a younger version of yourself when you first started teaching, what advice would you give to yourself?
Well, I kind of touched upon it earlier. Just to like grant yourself some grace, like we're not, as much as we want to be like superheroes and like super women and supermen, like we're only human, and everything's not going to be the way that you want it to be, and you just have to like accept that, and like grant yourself the grace to know that like it's okay, and I don't know, I had a kid come up to me. I was in a Dunkin' Donuts last year, and she ccame up to me, and I knew exactly who she was. Like I knew her by name, which is insane after 20 years. Like we remember like so many kids' names, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, and I said her name, and she was like, she turned around and she's like, Miss Slagle? And I was like, yeah, how are you? And she's like, oh my God, my mom and I talk about you all the time.
Wow.
Like it's because of you. Like I thank you. Like I am where I am because of you. Like you had such an impact on me. And I'm like, really? She's like, yeah, you taught me to read. And I was just like, wow, okay, thanks for the sign, like we need to hear that. And I'm very much a believer of like getting signs like that, like when you need it. And I needed it at that moment. And I was just like, wow, that's really cool. Like, because when you're in it, you don't think, like, there are so many times I'm sitting in front of the class and I'm like, they're not getting it. Like I'm trying to teach this. The other day, Emmanuel was like, how's it going? Because I'm teaching 3rd grade this year. So we have the state test. And he's like, how's your day? I was like, fractions are going to kill us, And I was just like, like you're just like so wrong. Like, I just want to open up their brains and just like pour the knowledge in and screw it back up and just know that they're going to be successful. We put so much pressure on ourselves as teachers because we want them to like, just get it. We want them to succeed. And we just need to.
But you don't realize that they are, in those moments later on, and that's your sign that you did you did your job.
Yeah.
But it's more than that. You made an impact on a person's life, and that changed in a positive direction, and that's the best you can do in this job. So and you got to pat yourself on the back, and because we don't do that as educators, we just go along for it. But the fact that you had that sign tells you made the right career choice.
Yeah, it's funny. I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up. Like I went from veterinarian to like what, I was like, I liked kids. I thought I wanted to be a teacher. And I randomly like saw someone with like a city college like ID one day and I was like, oh, city college. I should go look into that. And then I wound up going there. I met Emmanuel, but I'll never forget. I was on the train one day going to college and I saw a sign. It was for, what's the teaching? How did you get into teaching, Rob? You did this.
Teaching fellows.
Teaching
So it was a teaching fellows poster and it said, you remember your first grade teacher's name. Who will remember yours? And I was like, me, yes, that right there. That's a lot. I remember my first grade teacher's name as old as I am. And I want someone to remember my name and think about me the way that I think about them. And you know what? Another thing that like really changes you, and you can all attest to this, is becoming a parent because you teach in a certain way.
Oh my God.
You become a parent and then everything changes.
Yeah.
Because you see these kids differently. Like we always say they're my kids, but once you become a parent, it's different because now it's like,
it's 100%.
My child, how would I want their teacher to react to them in this situation? And your heart is just filled with even more love and even more understanding.
I loved when Dylan was the same age as the students that I was teaching. I had such a different, you understand, right? You're like, they had such a different perspective of how their minds were working when he was exactly at their age. I totally get what you're saying, like Slagle, but like it's so true. It changes you. And I'm it's amazing that 4 of us have experienced that,
A quick thing.
Of course, if you understand as a counselor, of course, I'm imagine the same thing.
Quick thing. This podcast was almost named "What Will They Remember?"
You remember? That's right. Yeah,
it was the early days. Yeah.
Yeah. We were
before my time. Before my time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah.
This is like when Matt and I, before we even recorded anything, we were like, "What should we call this podcast?"
Like 100 titles. Yeah. You just came in. I think by episode 4 or 5, you just never left. You just said, I'm a co-teacher. I'm gonna be a co-host too.
I live here now.
My welcome.
I was like, I think she's staying, bro.
Listen, you got me hooked when she came on because I listened. I think the first episode I might have listened to was like her and you guys telling the pigeon story. I'm like, that's it. I love it.
Oh yeah, that's one of the
Look, what will they remember? Tales of Two Teachers. What will they remember? Trash talking former teachers.
Oh my God!
2 former teachers talking. Teacher wisdom and follies. Fables and follies. The lessons
hundreds
that
last.
Of them.
The lessons that last.
Yeah, there's so many.
Oh my God, that's
wow! Oh my God, I have a picture. Me and Christine took a picture this year, and it was like
stepbrothers Santa Claus
behind her. And it's on our front door.
Yeah, this
Igor.
Is all of and where we were trying to infuse Brugge's face into the back of the small car,
right? Because she wasn't. We were like, all right, she's kind of with us now. We have to put her in the picture somehow.
God damn it, Brugge.
Wait, Slagle, have you seen the website?
Oh yes, of the 3 of you as little kids.
Yeah, wait, let me do a little quick share here.
Yes.
First we have our character.
When I first found out you were in a podcast, then I messaged you and I was like, what is this? And then
there's videos.
Link. And I was like, Brugge, do you know that this baby picture of you exists? She was like, what? Where did that come from?
Yeah, totally forgot. I didn't see it until you told me.
With you. Oh my god.
That's actually a picture of me at my bar mitzvah, by the way. So you know.
Guys, I just want to say something. Do you know what Monday is? Now that I see do you know what Monday is?
Oh, I have my shirt ready. And I think of you every year because last year I totally missed it. And I was like, I am going to have my Star Wars shirt. Girls from the Galaxy.
May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you. I've already have my date for my Grogu and Mando movie. I'm going to see it.
I would put my phone in my pocket and put on the Darth Vader theme, come out with the mask and come out with my lightsaber and just come out and greet the kids that way.
Yes.
Yes. And then I would split the line down the middle, like with it, just walk down. And this would be 5 minutes. I'm like,
Yes,
I'm not
and
just
me and
killing
Christine will
time
look
here.
at each other like, and we're done. Goodbye. Have fun.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
see you later.
I'm gonna do this 5 more times down the line here, and just
Wow.
good
Well,
times.
Legal, it's almost time.
This was great.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much for coming on our podcast. This was fantastic.
Thank you for
You're
having
an
me.
amazing guest and an amazing person.
I was just thinking too, we should have, we're going to have more guests on, obviously, but I don't know why I never thought
She's our last one. We're never gonna do.
it's the last.
We're closing on episode 28.
No, I guess I never thought like we can have more than one guest on, for example. Like we could have like Slagle on again with Tracy. You know what I mean? Like we can have 2 guests on. You know what I mean? Like I don't know why I'm thinking
They could be in the same place.
Yeah. Yeah, like me and Neil were. That was
I feel like they can't be in 2 different.
Neil was
I feel like they should be like
here,
sitting like you and Neil. They have to be sitting right next to each other, like holding hands,
finishing each other's
drinking out of the same teacup.
Which is hilarious because I grew up in the same neighborhood that I teach in, like 4 blocks away from where the school is. And then I just moved, I just got moved down Myrtle a little bit. So now I'm upper. But I see the kids and I'll see them at Stop and Shop and they'll look at me and Emmanuel's like, you've been spotted, because to give you that shy little look, is it her? And I'll say hi. And then if it's one of our kids, they'll be like, where's Miss Tracy? And I'm like, okay, we don't actually live together. We have separate lives. They'll see her and they'll ask about me.
I love that.
I live by the school too, but late at night I'd be going to the corner store to buy beer, and that's the worst when you get caught with that. I'm like,
oh yeah, no.
I'm like, you gotta walk up with the Heineken to the counter. I'm like, hey Matthew, see you tomorrow.
This
is because of you, buddy. This is because of you. Okay, I'm gonna drink all these because of you.
I remember when I was a kid seeing my teacher out in the wild. It's incredible.
Well, so do I. We used to, one of my kindergarten teacher, Miss Alonji, she lived down the block from my grandpa's house, and she would come out of her house and there was a street in between, Forest Avenue, I think was in between us, or whatever street that was. No, it wasn't, whatever. And she'd come out to the corner and we'd all scream, Miss Alonji, like she was a movie star. So when kids started to do it to me, when I started teaching, I was like, oh my God, I'm Miss Alonji. It's me. Feels.
You're a celebrity.
You know what else is crazy? Funny? You know what else is funny? When you think about being that age and thinking how old your teachers were, and now being that age, I'm they couldn't possibly have been as old as I thought they were.
Right.
And it's a whole mind-boggling situation. Yeah. How old were they?
Yeah. It's crazy.
Wait, so you live in Glendale, Slagle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Not far from your parents. Do they still live in the same place?
Yeah. Same exact house. So.
I'm not far before them.
All right. Well, Maddie.
All right. Well, thank you for tuning in to Playing Teacher. I want to thank our special guest, Slagle, for joining us. And because... we go back with her many years, and great friend, even better educator, and we love having you here. So for Rob, Brugge, myself, and of course Slagle, thanks for tuning in to Playing Teacher. We love you, and we're out. Have a great day, everybody.
Love you, Slagle.
Bye. Love you.
Bye.